There is just this boys locker room mentality. Like, honestly, completely unnecessary. It's not a we hate men, they're the problem. It's more so, you sounded so angry, I'm not. Oh no. That's not gonna stain, is it? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And yes, it is Wine Chats. And today I will be talking about the truth about being a woman in tech. This is a video that I think I have put a lot of pressure onto myself because I wanted to make my point very clear when trying to convey my ideas and whatnot. But as I was writing in, as I was thinking about it, I liked it to be a bit more candid and just really honest. And why not take out the truth serum and start talking about it? No, I just thought it would be fun to have wine chats because why not? So unoriginal, God. Darmaine, focus. I'm going on a tangent. So starting off with, you don't look like a software engineer. I have gotten this a lot, especially in the last 2 years. I joined a new job, there will be that one person in the team who says, oh, you don't look like a software engineer. What about now?
No.
What about now?
No.
Now?
No.
Is this better?
But the thing is, software engineers are not your stereotypical white male or Asian male who only talks about video games or computer stuff, and we are all used to that stereotypes and we all have that generalization, and you sort of like precondition your brain into thinking that anything that doesn't look like that may not be qualified for the job. And that is the unconscious bias that we might have in us. And throughout my career, I have been underestimated so many times that people have actually told me, oh, when you first joined the team, I didn't think that you'd be good. And I'm like, why? Because I'm cutesy. But speaking of generalization and in saying that, there's been a lot of diversity programs, women in tech movements, and unconscious bias trainings in order to help everyone to be more aware of their unconscious biases and hopefully do something about it, because before you can change, you need to be aware of what you need to change. Wise words. So coming into the role as a lead software engineer, one of my favorite quotes was from Jacinda Ardern, Auntie J, hello, which is one of the criticisms I've faced over the years is that I'm not aggressive enough or assertive enough, or maybe somehow because I'm empathetic it means I'm weak. I totally rebel against that. I refuse to believe that you can't be both compassionate and strong. And so I started my leadership role with that mindset. I had 8 direct reports at the time. Part of being a lead is to do pull requests and whatnot. And maybe I was too gentle and maybe I wasn't assertive enough. I think I left like 20 comments on the pull request. And my final comment was, sorry, I had so much comments on this one. Thanks for making it the changes. If you have any questions, let me know. And the response was, this is PR, not kindy. Why are you sorry? Or something along those lines. That was when it triggered a change in my behavior and in my attitude. And so you know how there's your feminine energy and your masculine energy, and once you move into middle management or even being a senior, it really seems like you have to prove yourself twice as hard because you don't fit the persona in people's heads in that position. And so when you have to try twice as hard, what I found myself doing is embracing more of my masculine energy and try to be a lot more assertive, a lot more direct. I cared less about how people will feel and cared more about how I can display being assertive and technical and know what I'm talking about. And that's just sad because you don't want to be changing your... That is one of my lessons learned, that I didn't need to change my whole attitude and personality. I could still be gentle, but also be assertive at the same time. You know, it doesn't hurt to be kind. It doesn't hurt to be empathetic, to be humble, and to care about the people you work with and to genuinely care about them. It's one way for me to adjust to the situation, but at the same time, in the IT industry, and this is really what pushes me on the edge of being aggressive, is there is just this boys locker room mentality. Like, Honestly, completely unnecessary. And let me tell you what I mean. The experience is that I raised an issue that has affected something in my work. And at the time that I raised the issue, they will not fix it. You know how it is in the dev world. Too hard basket, doesn't affect us, won't fix, we have other priorities. Until it became their priority. And so the day came, they finally made the changes. And for whatever reason, 3 other tech leads were tagged and I was part of the group chat. And the message was literally, at Darmaine, I added you as a reviewer, but I suspect you won't know what to do with it. To look at a pull request, because it's Java, I wouldn't know what to do with it. Like, that comment is just completely unnecessary, and that comment is one of the reasons why women feel like we have to prove ourselves twice as much, that we have to adapt to this boys locker room mentality because we are the minority. And so for us to fit in, for us to be respected, for us to not get comments like that, to not get demeaning, unnecessary comments, it just feels like we have to try twice as hard. And it's not to say that people are becoming way too sensitive nowadays. No, respecting other people is the bare minimum, and that's not being too sensitive. I sounded so angry, I'm not. It's sounding like a rant, and I don't want it to, but I'm sure there's a lot more women who have felt and experienced something similar, especially those who are in a more senior role and middle management. Because if you're a junior, if you're a grad, mid, everyone loves you. You're that woman in tech jam that's so keen and wants to learn and everyone wants to help you because you're in that learning phase. But once you start having a voice, once you start being visible and you have a spot at a table, that's when it becomes challenging for some to accept that. But that is not to say that everyone is like that. There are just a few bad apples out there. So in the essence of not generalizing, let us not generalize the whole IT industry because of a few bad apples. It's not common, but it does happen. It's not a we hate men, they're the problem. It's more so, okay, how do we bring awareness to this? How do we make the environment a lot less like a boys' locker room, but more of just like a workplace where people could express their individual selves freely, you know? How do we support that environment so that everyone can just bring in their best work without the fear of being judged or not being listened to? Anyway, sometimes as women in tech, we do get some sort of special treatment. One concrete example I could think of is that we were doing a hackathon, and instead of just having a hacker of the day, it was a special woman hacker of the day. And all the men are just like, you know, there. The question to answer was, what do women bring to the tech world? Her answer was her skills and her competency, just like everyone else. That's the thing. That's all we want, right? To have that same level of opportunity just like everyone else, because we are competent. We do have the skills to get the job, to get the promotion, and to be in a certain position. We don't want to be in a special category or a special treatment or a special seat at a table because it is in someone's KPIs to have more women reporting under them. That is also part of the problem. We're not just a number to fit your statistics and your KPIs. We want to be hired because of our skills, our competency, the great work that we have done in the team. We want to be hired because we actually stood out amongst all the other candidates. And we don't want people thinking that we got the job because of diversity, because we're women. So firstly, we talked about, you know, one end of the spectrum where it's a boys club and it's hard, And then the other end of the spectrum is that we are getting special treatment because we're women. But the thing is, they are somehow related because people can sometimes perceive that we got the special treatment because we're women. And so when we get into those senior and management roles, people don't think we're competent. People think we just got, you know, the women card, the diversity card, which is just as bad. Okay, so I guess overall what I'm trying to say is that over the years, it has improved a lot. we are seeing less and less of sexism, racism, ageism, and that is because of all the awareness that has come to it, and it gets called out when it happens right there and then. And that is something I 100% need to improve on, to call it out when it happens instead of just staying silent. And not only when it happens to me, but also when it happens to other people. And I really want to end with a quote that has stuck with me for years, and I heard it in one of the big conferences here in Melbourne. And it says, something, 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 when ego is left at the door.